Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Bonsai Blacksmith. Here we have the Mimosa bimucronata, a Yamadori I saved a while back, and it's time for its pruning. So let's get started. As you can see, we've had a lot of new growth here. We've got some shoots going up. I did do one thing that's unorthodox for me, and I did wire the tree. But here we got a lot of prolific growth. It has to be controlled before it gets out of hand. But I definitely like what's happening here. The tree is showing positive signs of bouncing back and enjoying its new location, its new pot, its new situation. So what we have to do is come up with a plan today, a pruning plan, and move forward from there. Sorry for the fisheye nature of this particular angle, but I want to get the entire tree the way it is now, give you a 360 of that, so you can have a better appreciation of what we're working with here. I'm really liking how the trunk is. It's got some peel back, so it's losing some of the bark, which is interesting. I think that's just natural. We also got some stowaways here at the bottom. We got some pigweed and Brazilian pepper tree, so I'll go ahead and deal with those later. But let's get some closer looks. So first things first, before we get too technical, we do not want the vertical shoots. We want this tree to grow horizontal. Maybe not so much this direction, but definitely in 270 degrees in that direction. So my first thought is to take these off. These right here. So that's what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to do so not mindlessly. I'm going to focus on how they divide and which direction they're facing, so I can encourage more horizontal growth. So something like that. Now that's not big enough for a cutting. I wouldn't attempt it anyway. Not even in zone 11 where this tree is endemic. Again, I might try to change the angle here. I don't know if you can see this, but they've got 2 shoots fighting, 3 shoots, 4 shoots fighting with each other here. Again, I want horizontal growth, encourage horizontal growth, so I'm going to go with, and I don't want long internodes, so I'm going to cut the long internode there, again, and get rid of that. And keep applying that methodology as I go through this horizontal growth. I don't want it going back on themselves. Now, thorns on this species are also nodes. So if you want, if a thorn's facing a certain way, you could probably get away with getting it to sprout in the direction of the thorn sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. Get another shoot here. I think I'll get rid of the one that's facing. Oh, that's tough. You know what? I'll go ahead and just cut that off. It's a long internode. That's gone as well. Let me change the angle here. So I'm not sure if I'm standing in my own sun here, but I want you guys to have a better view of what's going on. So I got these shoots going on. I have a large branch junction going on here already. It's splitting in 2 different directions, which gives this tree its distinct kind of wavy look, almost like a letter T. So I'm going to make sure you guys can still see what I'm seeing. All right, good, because I'm going to go ahead and cut up here now. Again, being conscious of which direction everything is going and how I want the tree to grow. This is way too vertical, this shoot here. So if you can deal with the thorns, the species is a pretty prolific grower. You won't be disappointed in its growth. So I'm actually going to cut this all the way back. It's got 1 leaf left right there. That'll keep that under control for now. This leaf is over leaf. That's fine for now. I don't want this leaf going this direction, but this coming toward us is fine. And then there's a thorn there too, pointing toward me, which is fine. Just above the thorn. Hopefully it sprouts again. Now, the front of the tree is actually, oh, you can't see it now, it's out of the sun. But this is the side of the tree I'm working on, so I don't want to get rid of too much of the growth that's coming toward the camera right now. I do want to get rid of the growth that's facing down. See if you can see that growth. It's growing down here. So I'm going to head and get rid of that downward facing growth. That's gone. That's gone. That's gone. Now we have a lot more undergrowth as well I have to address. A lot of shoots coming from underneath, which is to be expected considering this tree was chopped Alright, so I'm going to keep working on these here up top. Let's see here. That one, that's gone. Try to get the leaf that's facing inward out of there. I'm going to try to do some organizing. I don't want this tree to grow into a nest of foliage, which is going to choke itself out. That would be counterproductive. So this is a pretty long shoot growing out, but it is thickening, so I'll probably leave it as sacrificial. This could stay as sacrificial for now. This long shoot, I have 3 shoots coming out of that node to pick from. Tough. Well, I think, even though this is an older node here, I got to get rid of it because it's facing more up. Doesn't have much foliage options, so I'll get rid of that and leave these 2 smaller ones. Actually, leave the bottom one. Get rid of that, and I'll get rid of that. There's still a little one here. I don't know. I'll leave that. Well, nah, that makes no sense. Get rid of that one as well. So that opens that up nicely in there. I'm going to change the angle of the camera. Actually, before I do that, let me get rid of these last few shoots up top. There's that shoot. That shoot. That shoot. All right. Just the tip of that shoot there, because I like the idea of this foliage growing over this dead area for now. There isn't much to speak of in regards to foliage. So let's get a new angle on the camera. So there's a new angle, so you can see the T shape in the front of the tree I'm talking about. This is the front of the tree. The mark of the trunk is facing on a diagonal toward an offset, not directly toward the viewer. So you should see the tree like this. It's kind of got that T shape, that swooping T shape. So it's okay leaving some of this going that way. But you can see how some of this is going to be counterproductive. I'm going to go ahead and, well, want it to pad more. Get rid of that. This shoot coming up here is not going to work. I'm going to leave the horizontals though, so get rid of that. This facing down, I don't want that. Unfortunately, won't work. Get rid of anything else facing down for now. We had a little bit of dye back on a few spots, but not many. This is facing. No, I'll leave that for now. It's facing down, but it's kind of how this particular species, when it gets dry or stressed out or gets moved because it's been under the shade here. Well, it's in direct sun, which is normally in more of a shaded area. But for the sake of the video and pruning, it's easier just to show you this. Now I got another shoot up here I want to get rid of. Just trying to see how this is designed. There's another shoot there too. I'm going to get rid of that small shoot there, and I'm going to get rid of this one here, like so. Start to flatten that out. Now I'm going to get rid of this wire here probably in the next couple of weeks. Not this episode, but next couple of weeks, because I just wanted to train these branches down so it has more of horizontal growth from where it was initially cut. Give you a little spin here. We got some work to do on the back side. I don't know if you can see. Let me adjust the angle because we got some shoots there too off that lower branch. So let's go ahead and move this camera a little bit so we can see what we're doing. So this is definitely coming way up. We don't want that. I did have it wired down for a little while, but it didn't work out. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut this here for now. Keep it low. I'm going to get rid of some of these lower shoots. I don't want these shoots down here. That. Come on now. You gotta be careful. Also, you want to be careful about where you throw your cuttings here, because every piece has a pretty aggressive thorns. Keep cute of this. Alright, that's gone. Get rid of this shoot here as well. We don't want this growing on the side of the tree. Even though it looks cool. Get rid of that. That sprout. We'll keep this branch down here for thickening purposes. Although it did the back bud, and we gotta have a weed friend. Get rid of that. Get rid of some of that pigweed. This is also some pigweed. Get rid of that. Right there. Alright. So we got this sprout down here we want to get rid of. We can get rid of that. That's gone. Oops. Be careful, Sam. Now we got some more lower shoots to deal with. Like here. Let's see if you can still see that if I turn it. Alright, we're doing alright. We're doing alright. So, I'm going to get this, it's going straight up again, so I'm going to cut her back. Cut this back. Again, I got thorns facing down and sideways, so I'll go ahead and cut in front of those thorns, so hopefully it encourages it the back button, no doubt. It's still reddish here, which is new growth, so it's more encouraging to see that go. It'll probably take off pretty quickly. I'm going to, again, leave these down here. Well, this will complicate things. I'll get rid of these down here. I like the idea of thickening, but if it's not attached to the main branch, I don't want it. That's gone. Alright. Leave those there. Get rid of that there. That's another small bud down low on the trunk. Alright, so now we got these shoots I got to deal with. This is, I'll get rid of that. Well, hate to do it, but it has to be done. That's gone. It's crossing over itself. There is one little branch left that's gone. It's going this way. This is facing back toward the tree. I don't want that. We'll do something like that for now and see how it ramifies. It's a new species for me, so I'm not sure exactly the results of ramification. Got a little bit of a root ball growing down here. I think the mimosa is growing through the pot, if I had to guess. So I'm going to repot this in the near future as well. I'm forging a stainless steel pot for it, so stay tuned. All right, so I think I got all the shoots. Just give it a quick, one more turn around here. See what we're missing. This is facing down, which I appreciate. This has got a nice droop to it naturally. I don't even have to. I got to get rid of some of these low-hanging leaves, like that. Especially the ones that are dying. And I think that's because of the cold weather we had a few weeks back. Got fairly cold here. All right. Get rid of the other one that's facing down. That one. Let's see. Now we have a shoot that's inside. I'm going to zoom in on that for you so you can see what's going on in here. So we have some shoots in here we want to take care of. Mainly this one back here, you can see coming up. So we're going to look at what we got to work with. It's already got some crisscrossing going on here. So let's get rid of some of that. See what we're working with. It's probably, those are facing inward, unfortunately, so we're going to get rid of the ones that are facing inward. Like so. Oop. So those leaves that were facing inward are now gone. Now we also have to get this shoot that's here. We got this leaf facing and the thorn facing down and away. So I'll go right where that thorn is and see if it back buds out. Get rid of that. Change the angle again. Here's the tree so far. Could do some more pruning on it. Get some more of these shoots trimmed back. All right, let's keep going. I'll move the tree into the light so it's a little easier to see the whole idea as it comes together. I'm going to trim back this branch fairly far. I'd say about here. And just going to trim this back a little bit here as well. Get this to pad out. I like the long branch, but I want this to pad out more. This has got new growth on the end. I don't want that. Get rid of that now. I'll leave some of the droopiness on the tree just to see how it goes. This tree grows fairly fast once it starts. It's a fabaceae, so they're a bean. They grow fast. Again, droopy. Probably keep this intact. This one's underneath itself here. This isn't good at all. 1 second. There we go. So it's a shoot underneath itself. Do I need another branch there? Probably not. Although it does fill in a dead space, I'll cut it back. So turn that back toward the camera. There's an extra branch shoot coming out here that's brand new. I kind of like its energy, so I'm going to use it. I'm just going to cut it back just a little bit, like that. And hopefully, might wire it a little bit. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully it'll grow down and away from itself. I'll get these branches that are facing this one here. This is a new shoot. Want to get rid of that. That's been cut back but not completely removed. See how that develops for now. It's a work in progress. All bonsai is. We have a little dieback from the old days, I think, from here. Got something going on here. I'll leave it intact. See what happens, but this is clearly dead here. So is this. All right, looking for more shoots. I got one up here I want to take care of. That's gone. We got some shoots up here to take care of as well. So I'm going to turn it this way. You guys can see what's going on there. This high point here, I want to cut back enough to probably, that's where the wire ends. That makes sense to me. Also, I have this branch here. I'm going to go and cut that like so. Take that off the curry tree. I got some shoots in the front I got to address. These guys here. I changed. Oh, I think you guys can see all right. This is starting to pad out nicely, but I don't want it to continue to thicken too much. Otherwise, it'll block its light. This is growing toward itself. We don't want that. Get rid of that right now. Let's see here. I like how that's padded out, but at the same time, it's too long. It's just too long. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that back. I'm going to cut that back. Cut that new growth off, like so. This is a better angle. Kind of understand what's going on here. This is one of the long shoots here. It's kind of back budding a little bit, but I'm not liking it, so I'm just going to cut it way back to here where there's a new bud growing on the bottom. And see how that develops. We got this new growth here. Kind of weak. Probably going to get rid of it, actually. Get rid of that. We got this old growth. Got this growth still. That's fine. Going back to this direction. Yep. Let's see here. That's over itself. We're actually going to get rid of that. We don't want that over itself. Allow that sunlight in. We'll leave this pad alone. I've already cut all the shoots that we had coming off in this direction, so that's taken care of. All right, we're going to look at this area one more time. We've got some fresh shoot, which I'll probably leave alone. This is crossing over itself here. Not sure if I want that to happen or not, or have it travel underneath itself, like so. But crisscrossing is bad in bonsai. So let's go ahead and do the right thing and go ahead and cut that back, so that no longer fights itself. Again, we want as much light penetrating its canopy so it foliates out the way it should. looks more like a mature tree with more leaves. This is shooting out. I'm going to go ahead and cut that back so it doesn't keep growing. That was the very last centimeter of a shoot. That way it kind of stunts it, keeping some of that energy in it without completely robbing it. So I'm going to focus on this part here now. I'm going to see if you guys can see that. Yeah, right there. Okay. Change the angle there. Try to focus. All right. So this is a crisscross situation we don't want again. So I'm going to go ahead and just remove this. And this shoot here, that's interesting. It's got long internodes. Not a fan of the long internodes. I'm going to go ahead and cut this back. That way that's not fighting itself. We got this guy shooting in, so let's go ahead and remove that. There's that piece, that's gone. So these aren't fighting each other. That's a new shoot coming up. So I'm going to go ahead and just take off the new growth off that, so that way it won't keep growing. Hopefully not. If it keeps growing, I'll let you know. Got some growth down here I want to address. Actually, you know what? I'll leave this little growth down here alone. What else we're missing? There's probably 1 or 2 spots left on this. So I have a couple of shoots left. I'm just going to take the very ends off. That way I don't cause anything too catastrophic. I'm going to leave that there for now. Now this branch here in the back has got me thinking I could probably cut that back pretty far, and I will, because there's so much growth there. So go ahead and do that. That one's off. That's probably big enough to try to make it cutting. I don't know though, we'll see. And I think for now, we'll let this sit here for a week. I'm going to forge a stainless steel pot. And I'm going to take a video of that, so consider subscribing and to follow along to see how that pot is made. And then I'll plant this Yamadori in that stainless steel pot that I forged. If you have any questions about this particular tree species or anything in general about bonsai in South America or in general or blacksmithing, just put it in the comment section below. And I'm happy to answer you. And until next time, I'll catch you later.